Good evening to one and all. Welcome to another session of Friday Fundamentals brought to you by BMA. As you all are aware, BMA is the oldest management association in the country, set up and established well back in 1954, before many of us were born. And in the last 3 years, BMA is making an earnest effort to bring professional knowledge and expertise in management practice to all its members and all the interested parties at large. So, thank you for joining, and we hope that today's session, which says Family Business Governance for Sustainability, I think a very, very crucial, important topic, considering the fact that in India, predominantly, most businesses are family owned, family managed, and family run. When I say run, I mean in terms of continuity, in terms of sustainability and the future. With the new impetus on Atmanirbhar Bharat to evolve a system that will encourage entrepreneurship, startups to get India's rightful place in the global economy, I think it is extremely important to understand how the family businesses are going to evolve, sustain, and thrive. And to help us understand this system, we have with us today a very, very eminent qualified person who has actually worked in this field over the last 2 decades. We have with us Professor Dr. Hitesh Shukla, who's an academician and a shaper of family business. His insights, advice, lectures, and writings have helped develop many businesses, especially to strengthen and professionalize the family businesses from one generation to another. Recently, he has received a scholarship in and a certificate in family business advising from FIFI Gen 2021 for what is called as the CFBF, Certificate in Family Business Advising. Professor Hitesh has attended many business conferences across the world organized by Family Business Network. He's been to foreign universities like Northwestern, Kellogg, Harvard, Loyola University. Also within India, he has moved across various universities and has helped them to evolve a curriculum on family management of business. He's a guest faculty at some of the top institutes across the world, including the one and only Entrepreneurship Development Institute of India. Hitesh ji has conducted more than 103 training programs in the last 10 years for various management associations like CII, FBN, various chambers of commerce, and other private associations and entrepreneurs. Dr. Shukla learned his best practices of family business by interacting with business families and owners across the globe. He's interacted with businesses that have been extremely successful overseas as well as those in India. Few among them is Mr. Godrej, Mr. Azim Premji, Mr. Harsh Mariwala, the Murugappa Group, Munjal Group, Apollo Hospitals, Kirloskars, Vaidyanath, and many others. He advises families on topics such as long-term succession, ownership, family governance, developing the next generation, succession transitions, conflict resolutions, how to maintain harmony, how to prepare business strategies, how to professionalize family business, and how to do life and career planning, and even ultimately selling the family businesses in the most optimal way that can benefit the family. Currently, he's working as a professor in the Saurashtra University at Rajkot and continues his work of research to understand and evolve how family managed businesses can adopt best practices from across the globe. And to this extent, he has written a few books. One of them is Family Business Roots to Roots. He has written case studies for many universities, including the Harvard Business School. And he has been working on projects with companies, both within India and outside, to try and help them evolve their strategy for survival and thriving. So, without much ado, I would now like to welcome Dr. Hitesh Shukla to share with us his knowledge, understanding, and advice in terms of what is family business governance for sustainability. Over to you, Dr. Shukla. Looking forward to learn a lot from you today.
Thank you. Thank you, Professor Kiran, for the nice introduction. Good evening to one and all present here. First of all, I thank Bombay Management Association, Dr. Kiran Yadav and Andrella for this opportunity to talk with you all on family business governance for sustainability. The agenda what I've set for one hour talk is I'll be talking to you for a few minutes on the oldest family business of the world, the global family business and their contribution. Then I'll come to India and I'll share with you some of the best practices of great family businesses in India. And finally, I'll end up with the model for sustainability for family business success beyond third generation. That is the agenda what I've set for 1 hour talk. Believe me, family business is the oldest and most common form of business organization available across the globe. They are found in all shapes and sizes, ranging from small pop and mom stores in our community to the largest multinational organizations or conglomerate having thwarted impact on global economy in terms of GDP, in terms of employability, or in terms of investment return. See, in all the criteria, family-owned businesses are making their footprints on the global economy as well on the Indian economy too. When we look at the oldest family businesses, Japan is considered as the home of oldest family-owned businesses. And the Honsei Roking, which was started in 717. And along with that, we can also consider from Japan, Honko-ki Aoi Onsa, that was also an organization which was started in 1718. These organizations are completing their 46th generation old. Along with there are other parts of the world. We have Blangley Arms from UK, and from France we have Chitan Riverlines. But when we talk about the 46th generation family-owned businesses available in Japan, can you imagine a family tree that the business was started by the first generation, then 2-3 children, 2-3 children, 2-3 children. All right. How many family owners and family members are there in the 46th generation? During this COVID time, I worked with one of the family in Saudi Arabia. Their culture and their lifestyle is different. So the business is in the third generation, moving to the fourth generation. Can you imagine one father is having 12 children and 12 each is having 12, 13, 14 children. And in the third generation, there are 168 family owners. Now moving to the fourth generation. Just think about the percentage of ownership that the individual holding. I'm sure that's less than 1%. But what great things we can learn from all these old family businesses or the successful family business who have learned better governance and better practices is the decision making process of that great family businesses. Because when they do not have 1% ownership in the business, how can they run the business? How can they decide who will be the next chairman of the business? Who will be the next chairman of the family? How can we create the harmony and happiness in the family? That is the ultimate objective of family business that we have to learn from today's presentation or 1 hour session. Let's go ahead. One of the greatest business we all know is Walmart. When you look at the Walmart, it's also a family-owned business, having 1,100 retails under 41 different banners, working across 27 countries, and with e-com platforms in 10 countries, employed 2.2 million associates across the globe. That shows the importance of one of the family business that we know. Now let's see some of the names. Just I'll go through the names. I'm not going to talk about each family business. These are the family businesses over that I have my own researches. These are the names that will give you insights that these are the great successful global family businesses. When you look at the names, you may surprise, is it a family business? Yes, they are the family business. All right. When you look at the Merck is considered as one of the great family businesses, sustainable family businesses, going beyond third generation because they have entrepreneurship and innovation as their family value. But what is more important is they are transferring, they are passing on generation to generation, and that is leading in their family's value system. They are living it. That's part of their successful family business. Now we come to family businesses in India. These are some of the greatest family businesses. I've studied them very closely. I've worked with some of the organizations, and most respected, all family businesses are respected, but the company that I love very much is all these companies. But two companies I would like to quote here is Dabur. They have professionalized business, and the other one is the Murugappa, who has maintained the family legacy and pass it on to the generation to generation. For the family members who have not born and brought up in India, they are born in some other part of the country or other part of the world, but this family has created a system to pass on the family's legacy and the value systems to the next generation. We'll see how. These are some of the Indian great family businesses that has created 100 years organization. I have my own study. I worked for companies who have completed their lives 100 years and still they are in existence. And another condition, another variable that I have put in my study is the companies that has moved beyond third generation. Now let's see, after this global view and Indian view, why we are talking about family business, or why academicians and practitioners globally focuses more on family-owned businesses. The number one is the contribution across the globe. Wherever you go, the 2/3 businesses of the globe, whatever research, whatever studies you can take, whatever books you can take, the minimum, the percentage is 2/3 of the businesses are family-owned businesses. When you look at the India, you look at the organized sector, listed companies, 92% of the companies, whether it's a BSE or NSE, they are family-owned, family-controlled, and family-managed organization. These are the global data. If you look at the contribution of family-owned businesses, whether it's a family-owned, controlled, and managed, the contribution to GDP is 70%. They are considered as, the economic engine, powerhouse of the global economy, whether in terms of job creations, whether in terms of economic returns for the other stakeholders or minority shareholders. The another very eye-opening session is that, financial engineering, these organizations are low debt or less leverage firm. Their cultures is stewardship and run based on the founder's value, long-term vision. That's why they are running for the legacy rather than running for just a quarterly result. They are focusing on generations reasons, and it's rooted with the community where they are working, impulse to grow, change and innovate, and highest economic resilience. This is the brighter side of the family business. But why this subject is very important for the research and for the practice and for the consultancies, this slide. The darker side of family businesses, it is the most easiest form of the business, but believe me, it's the most complex form of business. Because if you look at the global data, when businesses go from first generation to second generation, only 30%, 30% businesses go from first generation to second generation. When you look at the data of second to third generation, it's 13% business. And when you look at the businesses that go beyond third generation, that is only 3% businesses. That's why it is called rule of third generation. Once the businesses go beyond third generation, it is considered as most successful family businesses. These are the various various belief that is in different culture and different countries, that believes that such live to such lives in 3 generation. So first generation create, second generation manage, and third generation enjoy and spoils the business. That is the belief. And how, but there are, on the other side, we have seen some examples. In India, we have seen some examples. Japan is considered as the home of oldest family-owned businesses. So these organizations are the organizations who are going beyond third generation, going and running the business for 46 generation. So that is a great learning for all of us. How can we see? This slide will be a great learning for all of us. Why family businesses are not going for beyond third generation? This is my own creation, my own understanding, what I learned from family businesses. On the one side, you can see the time, the age. On the other side, the size of the business. See, when the business started, when the entrepreneurship started, it's the business very small, but the family is inside. Look, the first circle, it's the business, family is inside. So this slide will give you a more learning about family in business to business family. When you talk about the family in business, that means only blood rooted and the family created by marriages and adoption, they are with the business. But when you talk about the business family, they are like, Murugappa, Tata, or any great family businesses like Merck or the Ford or like this, So when the business was created, it's small with the family inside the business. When the business grew, and at that time, the founders value, the second generation that grew up with the shade, under the shade of the founder, and they see the business is now established, the family is also established. So there are two circles. One is the family and the other is the business. But see, the two circles are intercepts, and there are common areas, that is the area of possible conflicts between the family and business, because business is dependent on the family and family is dependent on the business. The majority source of wealth for the family is the business, as well the majority resources of the businesses at this level is the family only. When it passes from the first stage to the second stage, there is a small transition. But when it is passing from second stage to the third stage, now there are three circles, which is known as three circle model in family business. They are in business, family, and every business needs fund for the managing of the institutes. That is investors or the outside investor owners. So that is I. So these three circles are working for different objective. Their motives working for the business is different. For example, now family is working for the legacy. The business driver, the people who are working in the business, may be family, may not be family members. So they are non-family executives. So their objective is to go and have their own family. I mean to say their professional career and growth. Investors, they have only one motive, that is return on investment. But when it goes from second to third, you can see the transition phase is larger than the first phase. Why? Let's see it one by one. See, when the family business is the first entrepreneurship, it is 100% controlled ownership. It's the founder phase. When it passes to the second generation, the control is now with the family. It's a shared leadership rather than one person's leadership. So they have to learn working with the family members as a team. And when it passes to second generation to third generation, the cousins consortium, these cousins may have, may not have bondings. Their lifestyles are different, their parents are different, their personal value systems are different, because that they are getting from their mother and father. And if the family is not connected with the founder, the controlled ownership, the first generation, and that's why I told Mark's example. Mark can be a great case study. We can learn from founders to the current or the next gen. Every generation is trying to pass on the legacy and the founder's value system to the next generation. So that is, these are the transition phase, what I told you. But believe me, siblings, their parents are the same, their value systems are same, their beliefs are the same, so they can easily pass on from first to second stage. But when you are going to the second to third, they've not decided the governance systems, they've not decided, they may not be emotionally connected with the business. That's why they need proper governance systems for successful family owned business beyond third generation, the rule of three. Because second generation, in Indian context, we say that the eldest one in the family will take the charge of the father. I mean to say the karta of the business. But now in the third generation, whose son? Suppose there are three brothers working together in the sibling partnership. And all the three have two sons. So six cousins are working in the cousins consortium. Out of the six, whose son will take over? But Dabur has created this kind of great systems, and they are known for the succession planning. See, this chart is also my own chart, and I have learned from working with various family-owned businesses. What I told you is that, first generation, see, the first circle, the business circle, and the family is inside the business. So for them, the business is the entity. They don't have anything to look at the outside the world. The business is their own world. They are inside the business. They are emotionally attached with the business. Second generation, who are grown with the family, with the same system, with the same parents, with the same value system. So they are also grown up under the shadow of the founder. So they are also emotionally connected. But when you go beyond third generation, people may not be working in the business. The siblings may not be working. Some family members may be working, some may not be working. If they are not working the business, they are getting ownership because it's an inherent business. When it is an inherent business, they are economically connected with the business. They are interested what I'm going to get on 31st March as a profit. So that's why they are economically attached. So economic attachment will increase beyond second, third, fourth generation, and then it becomes an institution. When the family become an institution and business run on its own, if they have created the right kind of governance systems. So this is also what I mean to say is, beyond second, third generation, economic attachment is more than the emotional attachment. You can see here why family business is considered as the most complex system across the globe. I said it's the most common, very easy, but it's very difficult to run beyond second, third generation. And that's why only 3% businesses go beyond third generation. What is the reason? Because you don't have to plan only for the business. You don't have to govern only corporate governance. Here it's not corporate governance, listing agreement, clause 49. It's the family governance and it's the business governance. You have to take together in hand, family and business. When you look at the family system, it's the social system wherein everybody is considered as equal. Everybody is emotionally connected. Everybody is feeling that this is mine, and if they feel that this is mine, they have family is the glue for the business. When family is taking care of everyone's want, there are two words. One is the need and the other is want. I'm talking to you about the aspiration. I'm talking to you about the wants of every individuals working in the family, and the decisions in the family are usually taken by heart. They take care of the desire of every individuals without having their, without considering their ability, and it focuses on the relationship. While look on the business side of the governance, business has a hierarchy, business has a passion, business has a power, business has a goal, business has a need, not wants. Business takes decision by mind, business takes the decision by rationals, and business don't look at the emotions, that look at the data and performance. So how can you create the bridge between the family and the business? If you can create a bridge between the family and the business, the social system, I mean to say, if you can create a bridge between your dining table and your office table, then only you can see that the business can go beyond third generation. That's why these two systems are, and the intersects of these two circles are the areas of most conflicting area. Sometime, believe me, the complexity more you will find in the family circle rather than in the business circle. Because when you go beyond second, third generation, the aspirations, the lifestyles, the expectations of individuals in the family are different. Their values are different. They may be working, may not be working in the business, and the people who are working in the business, their expectations from the business is different, and the expectations of people who are not working in the business is different. So if you can create a link between the family and business, wherein what they need, because the governance system of family business are interdependent and interlinked. The business take care of the family and family take care of the business. Here it is the time for the family to check and to define whether we are family first business or we are business first family. Believe me, when business start, all business across the globe, they are family first businesses because they are emotionally connected. But when it go beyond third generation, it's the business first family. Whenever you have to take the decision, and if you take the interest of the business in the center and then take the decision, I'm sure the business will survive. And once the business will survive and grow, automatically the interest of the business will be automatically taken care. So successful family business, they focus more on the family relationship. Working with last 24 years with different family businesses across the globe, I've worked very closely with the Asian family businesses. I found that business never fail. This is my punchline, and I say every time in my session that business never fail. It's the family fail in the relationship, and as a reaction, business fail. You can see here, I don't have any right to say any good or bad thing about any family in India, but in India, some Ayurvedic company which was closed, which was forced hostile taken over at the age of 98, and still its brand is in existence, though it was hostile taken over by some other company. It was failure of relationship And as a result, one party sell out the ownership without having knowledge of the other party, other partners, and this was sold out. So that is a great things we have to take in care of, family aspect of business rather than business aspect of family. This slide is a wonderful slide. How the governance can evolve. I try to understand, to give you a very simple logic and understanding how governance is evolved in family businesses. See the picture. There's only one player who perform, others are enjoying, others are supporting, others are listening. So it's a very personal business, individual identity known by individual person. Everything is personal. The communication is very, very informal, or as such, there is no communication. There's only one way communication. The performer, the person who is playing, will instruct and everybody will follow. There's no question to ask the performer. All right, it's owner-operated business, the first level. It's highly controlled and closed business within the family. When family is inside the business, all right. And when you look, I call it as a king model of the family business. Why it is king model? Because the entrepreneur, he or she behaves like a king. His words becomes the rule. And when his words becomes the rules, he inform everyone. He never involved anyone in the decision making. This is the first level of family owned businesses, wherein the family governance should start. When you look at the employment, only family and relatives are working. So they are most loyal people. You will find no professional people working at this stage. Now you see the picture. Only one performer. Now see. All family is performing. All family is doing some job. All family is taking roles. They are playing. But you see, they are non-professional. Look at their dress code. They are not professional. They are playing it for the survival. All right. But this is the family team. It is the roles are interchangeable. The responsibilities are interchangeable. But earlier it was family operated, now family managed. Owners operated, now it is owner managed. This is a sibling partnership. The communications are more informal because their value system, their parents are the same. And sometime, as it's grown, so compliance with the legal formalities, there is formal communication. If it's a private limited company or a closely held company, the majority board is a family managed business. Family directors are there and trusted advisor. They don't go beyond. But once this grow, the business go to the second stage when a few professional enters, but they are working very closely with the owner. Very few, even in the second phase, in the board of directors, if it is required by the legal compliances, then the independent directors enters, but they are not independent by mindset. They are working very closely, looking at the family's interest. But now look here. The picture is different. Just try to see the first picture, only one performer. I quote here, the different people have different role to play in family business. The first picture, only one person was playing. He was the star player. You just link it with the any sports game. He was a star player. The entire success of the game is depend on the star player or the one person who creates in the second picture. You see who creates a family team. All right, and they are now trying to they are learning to play together, but under the guidance and leadership of the star player, who now turn to the second phase of the life. He from star player, he become the captain of the team. And this time here, he's now not playing anything. He's giving the direction. He's just giving the, he's having, though he's having the control, he trained the people and everybody is performing professionally, right? See the dresses in the second slide and dresses in the third slide. So he now become, from captain, he become the coach and the mentor. He himself don't play. He makes others to play, but professionally. So this time, beyond third generation, family business become an institution, and they must have someone who can control, all right, who can be the master player. See, everyone's eyes is on the musicians, but this director's eyes is on the musicians. All right. So that is the difference. His face is on the different side because he is looking at the performance. So they become the owner, become the responsible owner. Independent board is there. Business is run by professional. Family is not involved in the routine day-to-day operations. We can learn it from the Dabur. Dabur has professionalized its business. You please look the board of directors, how many of Daburs are there in the business, and how many non-family professionals who are more capable and more able people who are running the business and giving insights to the business. See, I said in the first slide that almost all employees are from the family and they focus on the loyalty. Now business runs on the meritocracy. So they need more professionals. And the communication, earlier it was no communication to informal, and now 100% formal. Everything should be on paper and proper governance systems, structures, policies, and process. You must have a decision-making process and conflict resolutions and professionalize your personal relationship. When you talk about the professionalize of family relationship or personal relationship, I said that now the dining table and office table is separated. The boy who is a son is now clear that when I'm in office, I'm not talking with my father. I'm talking to the chairman. The question or the queries raised by the person is the chairman and not my father. All right, that's the difference, because we are in family business, we are wearing so many caps. And that's why even in India and abroad, many organizations, when their family members are not able, they've hired non-family executives and given them the reins of the business. That's the third stages of evolution of governance or family businesses. So now it's a time to create a institution. Great family business runs beyond third generation, create a systems wherein every family members likes to be a part of the legacy. Now they don't work for the money. They want to work for the legacy. Family is the glue. Now see, earlier it was the blue business that gives you the revenue. That is the only source of wealth. Now family has earned money. So they have created other sources of income. So it's not the business that is the glue for the family, but the family's legacy. They're working for that. And believe me, at this stage of life, the family will have more complexity from their extended in-laws and extended family members. Their lifestyles are different, their personal priorities are different, their personal requirements are different, and need a common goal. At this stage of life, governance systems need a common vision and values. Why do we want to work together? What we want to achieve? I'm not talking here about the profit and financials. Believe me, for successful family business, intangibles and non-family values are more important for creating a great successful family businesses. And at this stage of family governance, family has created the great social capital. Birlas are known for creating their great social capital, because wherever they go, they create their communities, and with that communities, they connect with their roots, and also they create their intellectual capital along with the financials and entrepreneurship capital. That's why the business go beyond third generation. And at this stage of life, I always ask my people who are working for the family businesses, are you working for the business or business is working for you? If you are not working for the business, you are only investor. So you have a right to get the profit dividend at the end of the financial year. But if you are working for the business, you have a right to get the executive compensations beyond profits. Now let's go ahead and see how we can create this level of governance, this level of sustainable governance for family-owned businesses. The first and foremost is the family constitution. These are the organs of creating family governance systems for sustainable family-owned businesses. The family constitution is a moral binding document. It is not a document that is a moral binding. It's not a legal document. That bounds, that creates a boundary between and within the family. That is based on the founder's value, the belief and behavior. Based on belief, behavior, and business, belief, behavior, and value, the business is created. And individual and family influence the business. Also focuses on history, code of conduct, family issues. See, these are very, very interesting points. I am saying again and again that the family aspect is more important rather than business aspect. If you have a problem in your corporate governance, if you have a problem in managing your business, you will find so many people who can help you, but you will find very less people who can help you in managing your family aspect, happiness and harmony in your family. So this document will talk to you about family issues like succession in leadership, ownership transfer, setting up of a family council, through the family policies and educations for the members, employment policy for the family, the liquidity, I mean to say, the managing the lifespan of the family members, lifestyles, management of the family and businesses. Dabur has created this kind of roles and responsibilities for family and the business. And very interesting things we can learn in the family constitute is also the role of women. This is the role of women is a very vital for sustainable family-owned businesses, positive as well negative. There are n number of examples we can take here, but women are playing very vital role. The grooming of next generation is also a part of this decision-making process. I say the first, when family is in the business, the founder inform everyone. But for successfully family business beyond third generation, one need to involve everyone. One need to take care of aspirations of everyone. Then only you can see successful family businesses. And so you have to take the decision-making process and many more things to define here in family constitution for the success of business and for the success of family. So for success of business, first you have to success in the family and then focus on the business. Entry and exit of family members, because sometimes if somebody don't want to work in the family, somebody wants to exit, somebody wants to sell out his ownership part. I told in just a previous slide that in India, one company which was sold at 98 year because there was no exit plan for the family members. So without knowledge of the partner, the family has sold out all these things. We will see all these aspects one by one, but for this family business, the key components are family and business that we have seen. The third aspect is family office that takes care of the wealth. Personal wealth and the business wealth should be kept separately, and family foundation. Through that, family can create social capital, philanthropic and CSR activities. I told Muragappa group has a tradition that the women are allowed to work in family foundation, and they are now also changing See, once you create the constitution, it's not you can change it after some years, and if required, family members can also allow. There's no one fit solution for all the family members. What is good for one family may not good for the other family. So what I mean to say, these are the four basic elements for running or successful family owned businesses. When you are talking about family, families are multi-generational and multi-branch family businesses, 46 generation or 5 generations or 168 family members in the fourth generation. All right. In this time, you have to see you have to define here whom do you consider as a family. When you talk about whom do you consider as a family, means you have to define whether do we consider as a married daughter as our part of the family. If yes, does she get a right to enter in the business aspect? I mean to say management of the board. If yes, then how long? Then see, here you allow the daughter, but believe me, with the daughter, her in-laws are entering into your businesses. Are you prepared? Are you ready for that complexity? If yes, have you prepared your businesses governance systems for that? If not, then you have to prepare. So all these are the complexity. That's why one of the family businesses with whom I know I'm working, they give ownership when the daughter born in the family. But when she get married, the families buy back the shares which was given at the time of her birth and give her the worth of that buyback shares as a gift from the family. So there's no one fit solution for all that things. What I mean to say, you have to take care of in-laws and extended families. Whom do we involve? Whom do we not involve in the business? And if we involve, what level and when we will go for their promotions from one level to the others. Then the other one is, I said in the previous slide, is the family council. This is very interesting platform. It's a family platform wherein it's a sounding board. I can say it's a sounding board of the family relationship. It is a platform where anybody can express their feeling. Family members can express their concern and care, anxiety, and the family leaders can answer the questions. They feel that the family members can feel that they are important part of the business and the family. They can see the business through this family council, because some of the family members here in the family council is a core part of the board of director, I mean to say in the management. So these persons will inform the other family members about the performance of the business, and they are the link, they are the bridge. They can take the care and concern and anxiety of the family members to the board and the people who are non-family executives to take care of their concern and care. That will give them more advantages. And it also family can create their unity through family retreats and family holidays. The great family businesses work very hard on communication, and that will give you a great result. All right. Succession, we will see through different slide in conflict resolution. If there are differences and disagreement, this is the first stage of conflict. When someone in your family council is keep quiet, it is the responsibility of family leader to involve them. I've given you two words: involve and inform. If someone is quiet in the meeting, not contributing, there is some red signal. You have to open up, you have to communicate and open up with the family members and ask them the question, what can be the solution for your silence? So these are the key components. Let's go ahead. This is a wonderful slide you can learn from family governance. See, objective of governance is different for family and business. I say it's the most complete in both the hands. You have to take together in one end the family and other end the corporate. So there are two groups. One is an intra-group and other is an inter-group. One is the within the family and other is the outside the family, but within the business. Family is connected closely with the business. The ultimate objective of governance is to have trade-off between family harmony, business growth, liquidity, and control of the business. How can we create it? This system says that family governance of family business is an integrated part. How we can focus on that? It defined the sets of rules, how intradependent group, that is a family, can look into this. Here the family does not meet. I define that families are considered as a blood relatives through marriages and through adoptions. But here I can take here a great case of Asian paint. In India, Asian paint was started by friends. When it was started, the friends are not blood related, but it was a family by choice. Imami is a family by choice. All right. So these are the informal intra-group who have a common values. Now they are looking at the business board of directors. How can we see management controlled and governance and ownership? These are the governance systems. How can we create the bridge? The very interesting things for the governance is this one, it's the fairness. Fairness has a very big impact on family-owned businesses. It's the fairness of governance, individual fairness. If the trust level is high, the fairness goes up. Believe me, fair is not equal. Most of the family fail because they believe on the system that we have all equal. When you consider as equal, I said, are you working for the business or not? If you are not working for the business, the resources should not be distributed equally among the family members. You have only rights to take out of the business what you have contributed. So the things is that here, you can see fairness is outcome. Outcome, that means the profit or the resources that generated by the business. Fairness in terms of the process, where everybody think that I am involved in the decision making process. I'm very important part of that. And the very important thing is intra group governance system, the treatment that you give it to your family members. So fairness also include about the communications that you made, the clarity of expectations, your consistency, changeability, and commitment to the fairness and ethics and trust. That will bring you the family closely. Very interesting. Woman can see the business from the eyes of the man who is working in the business, and many a time men can see the family and the other family's relationship through the eyes of the woman who spend most of the time in the family. I call every woman in the family business is a CEO. When you're talking about the CEO in the business, everybody know what is the CEO in the corporate. But when you're talking about the CEO in the business is the chief emotional officer. Believe me, in all family business, the first advisor for all family entrepreneurs is the mother. And the foremost influential advisor is the wife. And that's why the research says that next generation takes their baggages. The research says that the next generation takes their baggages in their early age about the other family members and about the other relationship from their advisors. That is the very vital role. If they gives the baggage is positive, the family will flourish. Else, the family will destroy the relationship, and that will have an impact on the business relationship. If we go ahead, we are running short of time. The role of non-family executives is very, very important. I told you the second phase, you please remember the entry of non-family executives and independent directors. In India or in Asian part, we are inherent the business. My family business will go to my son, but it's the Ram, Indian mythology, who believes that I should earn the business, and he was earning the business from his childhood, when he takes care of all the Brahmins who were doing yagnas, and the Brahmins came to Dasarath, King Dasarath. King Dasarath means the person who is managing the business for the protection. Dasarath did not send any, freedom any fighters, anyone from his army, but he sent his own son who was a children, Ram and Lakshman, because and they fought the battle under the leadership of non-family executives called Rishi Vishwamitra. That was the protection of the children. If these two children are not able to fight the battle, there is a supreme authority with them to protect them. But these two boys win the battle. When they come back, the country people, the other employees of the organization, they believe that the tomorrow's leader, the next gen, is able to manage the business. And that's why we should not inherit the business. We should earn the business. And when we are talking about succession planning, the ultimate test of the family business, you should look it from the family's acceptance and non-family's acceptance. Non-family's acceptance is from the business, from the community, from minority shareholders and all other things. You have to see the person who is able, who is available, and who is willing to take the charge. When you look at the succession, you should think it from three angles. The management, that is the leadership. Second is the ownership, and the third is how can we control the business. That is the ultimate things. When you're talking about the succession, we have to involve three persons. I said this slide, the owner, the founder, means the Dasarath, the founder, next gen, and the advisors. Because the senior generation of the founder has the core value, the wisdom, and the legacy. The advisors has the professionalism. He knows the performance of every individual that is very close to the heart of the founder. He will select or she will select the person who can get these things better. And third is the next gen. Next gen is well educated and having global exposures and having new energies and new vision for the business. When these three things align, all right, at that time you can create your succession. And finally, if you have any dispute, any things, it's a boxing range. Before starting the game, you must define the rules. Once you define the rules, it is bound. I say it, family constitution is a moral binding that I will not cross the boundary. There's no as such boundary, but there's a boundary that is defined by the family in their relationship that I will not cross. Once the rules is predetermined, that time they'll accept the rules, otherwise not. That's why when these differences are there, disagreements are there, you should take care. I said it's the red signal, and involve everyone and take care of everyone. But for that things, what needed is someone who can sit between the two parties and tell them about the document. This is not a paper. This is a living document, family constitution. All right. And if you can create a great family-owned businesses. Very interesting things. Do you have a plan B? Everything put on the paper. But something happened, unforeseen incident. Someone who is identified, who is managing the business, he died. Some divorce happened. Something happened. And at this time, do you have plan B? If not, please create. Then only you can create a sustainable family-owned businesses. And finally, we come to the end. What is called sustainable business, which is the model given by Josh Baron in his recent book, in that he has created a 4-room business model. See, family has access of all three rooms: owner's room, boardroom, and management. So family have access, but with the defined rules, with the predetermined policies and processes and structures. If you create it, then only you can do it. But for succession, you should see the owner's vision, family's vision, alignment of business and family strategy, preparing the successor and the predecessors, because both the roles are changing. You may be a captain, but now you have to play the role of mentor. You cannot go on the ground and cannot play the game. That is a learning. And finally, leadership transition. And then owners, last is the ownership transition. When the owner becomes the responsible owner, you can create a family owned business. You have to see three things: growth, liquidity, and family harmony and happiness. If you can do these three things, family sustainability will be possible beyond third generation. We end up with this quote that family business is the most complex form of business. It has multiple objectives. Why it is most complex? It has multiple objectives. Family has a different objective: to maintain the unity, harmony, and happiness, concern and care and anxiety of every family members, creating legacy beyond generations, taking it further, along with the cohesion and achieving prosperity in terms of wealth. That is the business aspect. That is the family office aspect. Keeping control of the business, that is also one of the objective for the survival and sustain of the family business. Informal and intangible elements that plays a very vital role. Then you have to create a common, for that purpose you have to create a common vision and shared values for future that can take your business to the next level. Thank you very much. Thank you, BMA, Professor Kiran Yadav and Andrela, for this opportunity. Thank you very much.
Dr. Shukla, I must say that this was one of the most comprehensive and brilliant presentation that enlightened us on the issues related to family managed business and their sustainability. I think you've shared with us a lot of in-depth knowledge that you've gained over the family managed businesses. I mean, it would be interesting to find out this Japanese family that is now in the 46th generation, what businesses they are and how well they are doing, and what are the areas that they are now compared to when they started off. I think
started my own study on Japanese family on business. It is available on Google. It was published by Business World. That's a magazine. You can Google it and you can get all that insight, how these family businesses can run and can go beyond third generation and can manage to 46th generation. Right. Thank you.
Sure. Thank you for sharing that. I think some very, very important and relevant facts that you put on the table in terms of saying that 92% of the stock exchange is family-owned businesses. You've also brought about the fact that you've covered all the aspects, including now with the new legislations, the role of women, especially on board as independent directors. And you've actually enlightened us on the complexity of, the managing a family business, because you have not just to manage the business, but simultaneously you have to manage the family as well and synchronize its efforts to, as you rightly put it, grow, multiply, have great liquidity, and also maintain harmony. I think there are a few questions that our attendees, participants have raised. So I would request them to actually unmute themselves and, ask the questions themselves. So Ravi Pawari, would you like to
yes, sir.
Yeah, sure. Go ahead.
Good evening, sir. Thank you so much for this very fantastic session. Sir, I have three questions to be precise. So the first is, you have talked about Dabur, right? So how Dabur cracked this business governance model? Because I just want a better insight about it. That because see, creating a legacy. So how they created this governance model so that year after year, generation after generation, their business model is continuing and nothing is hampering their business model. So how they managed to crack this governance model, which others were not able to crack?
Others are also following the same model. So look at the growth of Dabur. It was an Ayurvedic company, then it moved into FMCG, and family has created a clear-cut line of their roles and responsibility in the business. They've separated ownership and management. All right, it's not that you are Burman, so you have a space in the business. If you are able, if business needs that talent, you are welcome. Otherwise,
Okay.
you are free. You can enjoy the ownership, you can enjoy the legacy. So they have created two different houses, one for the family and one for the business.
Okay.
Business houses are managed by professionals and very few people. I said family means the various branches of the family, those who are most capable, because business needs meritocracy and family needs everybody. Family consider everyone equals. So when you are in the family house, everyone is treated equally. It's like, gulab jamun you have in your kitchen. You can take any number of gulab jamuns, but if the gulab jamun is on your office table, you cannot eat. You
Okay.
can eat if you have contributed, and you can eat only the number of gulab jamuns for that you have actually contributed. That's the systems they have followed. So what I mean to say, they have gradually professionalized their business, and when they professionalize business, you can check the data. Initially their profits and their performance was down, but when the professionals are given freedom and flexibility, their performance has increased, and they are now just in the board. They are managing the business, they are enjoying the legacy of Dr. Burman and enjoying that things. And there is a very great case studies on governance systems of Dabur. One fine day we can discuss it on the BM platforms, right?
Sure, sir. Sir, because the reason I have asked this question, because recently Bisleri sold their ownership to Tata Group because they were not able to create that legacy. So, sir, one more question that I have is that why it is so that good businessmen are able to create good business, but they are not able to create a good governance system for the family, so that in generations their business can be taken over. So,
It's a very good question. I said in India, the great family business where father died, father created a great family businesses in a very short span. Great family businesses across the globe. But once the father died, two sons cannot manage the business.
yes, sir.
So you can see here the king model and the sharing leadership. The sharing leadership. So father focus only on creating the business. He don't focus on. I said it's managing two aspects of business. You have to take together. You have to parallel plan for family and business.
Okay.
In the same family, now in the third generation, one branch of the family is doing wonderful and defining their roles for the third generations, what they will take care of and what not, and how they can be complement. See, when the second generation or the siblings, they
Yes, sir.
become the competitor of each other, there's a fight between them. If some family, some South India's great family, they create complement of each other. Once they plan for complement, I'm sure the business can survive and sustain beyond third generation.
Yes, sir. Because, sir, we have two reasons. Dabur was able to crack this governance model, but when we take the example of Reliance, they are not able to crack this.
We don't have any right to say
Okay. Yeah.
good or bad about
Okay.
anything,
Yes, sir.
right?
Yes, sir.
Ours is only academic
Yes, sir.
understanding,
Understood, sir.
right?
I understood this
And
point, sir.
every family is different, every situation is different, and everyone is right at their point of time.
Yeah, understood. Yes, sir. Thank you so much, sir, because this was the prominent question that I was wondering throughout the session, that why good businessmen were not able to create good governance model. So I got this
I
answer.
think,
Thank you, sir.
if
Thank you
I
so much.
may, with your permission, Dr. Shukla,
Yes, sir.
see that Indian businesses have two major challenges to deal with. One is parampara and the other one is destiny.
Right, sir.
Yes, sir.
Unless it blends well, the success factors can differ.
Okay.
Can I invite Mr. Satyen Shah to please unmute and ask his question?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, good evening. Sir, I had a question. For example, in your examples, you have shown that most of the businesses, family businesses, which are actually manufacturers, ours is a trading company of 72 years. All right. Does the policies of succession change if the nature of business is different?
No, sir. No, sir. See, even if it's a trading firm, you
Yeah.
can plan for your family togetherness. And if you have one store, one place of trading, why don't you create 10 places of trading? That is the growth of your business. How you can manage? If you have 10 places, or in one city, you can think of 10 cities. If in 10 cities, you can think of 10 countries. You can collaborate with the people who have different capabilities in export and import businesses. But the process and things will remain same of managing the business and managing the family.
All right. Right. All right. Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
Shuklaji, I have, if I may, there's one small question that I have for you. Recently, it's been in the news, where all the senior founders of Infosys have been sort of coming up openly and saying that there has been a failure to involve family in the business, and therefore there is this little gap in the leadership that now it seems to be facing, and which seems to be a problem that they need to address very aggressively. What's your take on that, sir?
Sir, if you want to involve your family, involve them at the early stage. If you look at the Indian history, the Birlas are doing wonderful. When a boy is of 10 years age, he go with the senior to the Gaddi. Gaddi means the business. And he observe how his grandpa is managing, how he is managing people. And when the small boy knows the business, then he go for the higher education, maybe in India, maybe abroad. But he or she is required to have the internship on their family businesses. And I've seen some of the great family businesses in India who have a Zoom meeting. I said in these one of the South India's greatest family business of India, they have a Sunday school system. For the boys and girls who are not born in India to know their legacy and to know their values and to know their business. Can you imagine some people are sent to that country who are very close to the family, and they've created the small movie on their founders, and they tell them the stories about the sacrifice, about the hard works that done by the family. So once you catch them early, they will see the value in your business. Otherwise, what happened, once they go on back to USA or some other countries, they think that it's better to work for some big multinational companies. And once they boy or girl go on to that multinational company, you lose the best talent of your family. If they work for your business, believe me, they'll take the business to the next level. But unfortunately, the person who is not able to manage is managing your business as a chairman.
Yes, I think that's a very fantastic insight. In fact, many family managed businesses have this trend of sending in their children to diverse industries, which are not same as their family, to learn from and come back and engage in their family business itself. I think Mr. Kamal Shroff, are you still there? Yeah, I think you've put up your hand. So if there's a question you want to ask, please go ahead.
Oh, thank you so much, Sakyan. Yeah, Mr. Shukla, great presentation. There are a lot of things which you mentioned which are really true. The fairness of people contributing and the profits coming out.
Whatever I said is the truth, and that's a learning experience, a learning of 24 years working with various corporates.
Yeah, perfect. No, my question is, there are a lot of wrongs that is happening in a family business. How do we go about correcting it? Like the fairness piece, procrastination of a lot of family members, of decision making or working towards business goals. and lack of professionalism, governance models? How do we start? Where do we start from?
Today is the best day to start that correction.
Okay.
And the right answer is that, when there is no complexity in the relationship, you should start all these things. Why that great Indian family business fail once the father is died? Because they have not created that system. They have not created in their family. If it was created, if parallel planning is going on, the son or the daughters know what is right and what is wrong, and what should do and what should not do. I worked with one of the greatest family businesses in Hong Kong, Lee Kung Kee. Lee Kung Kee family has on their desk what not to do. Once you are clear about what not to do, and once you are clear about your own values, your most probable questions will be over. Transparency will lead to your trust, and trust will lead to the fairness. And for that, you have to involve everyone. I said, if my brother in the business meeting, he keep quiet, it's my responsibility to ask him the questions. If he is not answering in the meeting, I must, when I'm driving back to my home, we are only 2 persons in the car. That time, he's my brother, and I should ask him, what is there in your mind? He may not be comfortable in the boardroom to ask the questions, but when he asks the questions in the car, because when you are driving together, because it's the siblings, once you look at their eyes, the problems would be solved. So best time when there's no complexity, start all the things. But once the complexity is there and you frame any rules, that is not acceptable to the other party. It's something like that. You are playing a cricket in a small society, and the ball goes into someone's house, and you declared me out. I said, I'm not out, because you did not tell me when we started the game. See, ball is gone. Ball is a one resource. Try to understand. Don't focus on the word. Focus on the sense. Ball is the resources of the business. Once we both lost, bat is in my hand. Some resources in my name because of my father's creation. I go out with the bat. What will you do? You lost both the resources. Bat is with me in my name. Ball is gone. So better when we start the game, you tell me that this bat is in your name, but it is our bat. And you should frame the rule that if the ball touches there, 4, touches there, 2, and goes there, out. So once the ball goes there, I'll give the bat to you. And I'll tell you, this is a moral binding, moral binding. But once I'm out and then you tell me that now you are out, I said, why? You did not tell me. So best time is to frame the rule when you start the game. When there's no complexity in the relationship. Believe me, once you have complexity in your relationship, no rules will work.
But Hitesh ji, in this VUCA world, how much is it possible to frame all the rules in advance and abide by them no matter what the situation of uncertainty?
That's very, very interesting question. We frame the rules of 5 years. That is not fixed. That is today we fix for 5 years. We can sit next year and see what are the changes needed in the rules. Every year you can sit and see, because who decide the rules? We decide the rules. Who follow the rules? We follow the rules. If you have not created rules, I will work on my way and my brother will work on my way. And it is very painful. If you are not comfortable with your employee, you can fire them, give them 3 months notice and say that don't come. But can I say it to my son? Can I say it to my brother? The answer is no. But if we set the performance parameter for myself and for my brother, and if there isn't some third person who is non-family executives who can check my performance and my brother's performance and then say that you are not doing good or you need to improve in this area. All right. So framing the rules, that doesn't mean that you have to follow it every year. See, when we were child, we were playing 5 days cricket, then 1 day, and now 2020.
Yeah, I appreciate. I say that, doing business is quite a challenge, because they say if you want to be innovative, first break all the rules and step out of your comfort zone.
Breaking the rules, but you have to break the rules is also you have decided the rules. Then how to break the rules.
True. I think Mr. Satyen Shah has put up his hand, so let him.
So as I mentioned, we are now in the third generation of business, and I come from the second generation. Okay, of course, every generation, the contributors, they're like different. All the five fingers are not same, right? There's always a weak link in the generation. Now, our father's generation, it was handheld, right? But in the second and third generation, where the weak links are there, how much it is right to continue the traditional, the parampara that we have seen, and in this, especially in this competitive world, whether to be emotional or professional is the question, as is the quandary.
See, if you are sitting in the house, you must be emotional. If you are sitting in the office, you must be professional. Whether it's your son, your brother. One answer. Second answer, you said we should follow the parampara or not. Whatever your core, hardcore, don't change it. Whatever you have gained from your founder, don't change it. Change, accept all. I mean to say, just keep the core, and rest of the things of the business you should change. Rest of the rules you can change as per the requirement of the business and as per the requirement of the family. All right, and the person who is most capable should have the right to eat more gulab jamuns that is there on your office table. But the same gulab jamuns are there in your house, in dining table, then everybody can take the equal. Right. Hope you can understand my answer.
I understand.
Right.
Thank you so much.
I think we are getting closer to the closing time, and as Hitesh ji has already pointed out, at home you can have as many gulab jamuns, even if you get diabetic. That's fine. The family will take care of you. But in the office, you make sure that you only take the share that you are justifiably able to digest and you are able to be reckoned for. So I think Hitesh ji, it has been a wonderful session. You have actually made us aware of so many things that we took for granted, and we never actually thought about them in such depth. But I think now the way most of us will look at our family businesses or the way we conduct ourselves in a slightly more educated way. So thank you so much for sparing your time and being with us today. And I think, as you have said, this can actually become a more robust platform for us to be able to take it to the next level in terms of actually conducting a good quality workshop. And I'm sure there'll be enough interest among the members to be able to come and engage in that workshop. And we'll definitely talk about this offline in terms of whether we can get together with BMA and create some sort of a training session that will help our members further. So with this, I would like to thank all the participants for having joined us today. I think today the numbers may be smaller, but quality also counts beyond the quantity sometimes. And I think that the people who are really interested in family managed business were all there. And I think your sense of being able to guide in terms of how governance plays a role in sustainability, I think has been very, very valuable to all of us here today. So thank you, participants. Thank you, Hitesh ji. Wishing you all a very pleasant weekend. Happy Diwali and Happy New Year.